Hello and welcome to another episode of today's GK. Let's begin with previous day's practice question. Question was recently the construction of missile cum ammunition barge for Indian Navy was completed. It is constructed by Mazgaon Dock Shipbuilders, MTAR Technologies, SECON Engineering Projects Private Limited or Bharat Dynamics Limited. The correct answer is option C, SECON Engineering Projects Private Limited. Recently, the contract for construction of 8 missile-cum-ammunition barge was concluded with MS SECON Engineering Projects Private Limited, Vishakhapatnam. The first barge of the series LSAM-7 Yard 75 has been delivered to Indian Navy at INS Tunir, Mumbai. The barge has been built under the classification rules of Indian Register of Shipping with a service life of 30 years. The induction of MCA barges will provide impetus to operational commitments of IN by facilitating transportation, embarkation, and disembarkation of articles ammunition to IN ships both alongside jetties and at outer harbors. Therefore, option C is the correct answer. Now, let's begin today's session. First question is recently the immunization coverage estimates 2022 was released by which of the following? WHO and Global Health Council, UNICEF and UNAIDS, WHO and UNICEF or WHO and Gavi. The correct answer is option C, WHO and UNICEF. Recently, the WHO and UNICEF estimates for national immunization coverage for 2022 was released on July 18. The coverage rate for DPT-3, the third dose of diphtheria, pertussis and tetanus vaccines in India rose to an all-time of 93% in 2022, surpassing the previous pre-pandemic best of 91% recorded in 2019 and also marking a sharp increase from the 85% recorded in 2021. It showed that in the WHO Southeast Asia region, the coverage rate for DPT-3 recovered to the pre-pandemic level of 91%, a sharp increase from the 82% recorded in 2021. According to the report, the region also witnessed a 6% improvement in the coverage of the measles vaccine, rising to 92% in 2022 from 86% in 2021. As per the report, the region had the best immunization recoveries among all the WHO regions. Therefore, option C is the correct answer. Next question is the Morphology of Delhi National Capital Region's Economic Geography and its Implication for Planning report was recently published by World Resources Institute, Center for Policy Research, International Institute for Population Sciences or Institute for Social and Economic Change. The correct answer is option A, World Resources Institute. Recently, the report titled Morphology of Delhi National Capital Region's Economic Geography and its Implications for Planning by WRI India was released by Union Housing and Urban Affairs Minister. According to the report, the National Capital Region needs an economic development agency as it is hollowing out as people and jobs continue to move from its core towards the periphery. The report uses economic census data from 1990 to 2013-14, data from the RBI and census figures. The report said the expansion of built-up area was triggered by the advent of metro connectivity over state boundaries. It suggested the government form an NCR Economic Development Corporation as the one economy, one labor pool phenomenon required a regional strategy for economic development. Therefore, option A is the correct answer. Next question is consider the following statements regarding the US-India Strategic Clean Energy Partnership. 1. It is part of US-India Climate and Clean Energy Agenda 2030 Partnership. 2. Under the SCEP, the United States and India agreed to collaborate across 6 technical pillars. Which of the statements given above is or are correct? 1 only, 2 only, both 1 and 2, or neither 1 nor 2? The correct answer is option A. Recently, the ministerial meeting of the US-India Strategic Clean Energy Partnership was held between Indian Minister of Petroleum and Natural Gas and US Energy Secretary in New Delhi. The SCEP was launched in accordance with the US-India Climate and Clean Energy Agenda 2030 Partnership announced by both countries at the Leaders Summit on Climate held in the year 2021. Hence, statement 1 is correct. The revamped SCEP places greater emphasis on electrification and decarbonization of processes and end uses, scaling up and accelerating deployment of emerging clean energy technologies, and finding solutions for hard to decarbonize sectors. Under the SCEP, the United States and India agreed to collaborate across 5 pillars: power and energy efficiency, renewable energy, responsible oil and gas, sustainable growth, and emerging fuels. Hence, statement 2 is not correct. Therefore, option A is the correct answer. Next question is: the first cave starting from the southern end of the hillock presents a narrative mural portraying the intense battle between the Warner brothers, Wali and Sugriv. Both figures stand on the battlefield wielding maces, their faces displaying fierce determination. Rama, positioned behind Sugriv, shoots arrows at Wali. The above given statement talks about which of the following sites: Rudragiri Hillock Guntur, Bhimbetka Rock Shelters, Adamgarh Hills, or Kubgal Petroglyphs. The correct answer is option A, Rudragiri Hillock Guntur. Recently, the rock art at Rudragiri Hillock, Guntur district of Andhra Pradesh was seen in the news. The site unveils a fascinating combination of prehistoric rock paintings from the Mesolithic period and exquisite artwork from the Kakatiya dynasty. The unique Ramayana fresco from the Kakatiya era, drawn in a natural rock shelter on the Rudragiri Hillock, depicts the Vanar brothers Vali and Sugriv engaged in a fierce battle. Rudragiri, which is nestled amidst the eastern Ghats, features 5 naturally formed rock shelters at its foothills facing westward. These shelters served as living quarters for people during the Mesolithic age around 5000 BC, and they bear witness to the luminous rock paintings of that era. Interestingly, 2 natural caves at the southern end of the hillock also exhibit exceptional murals from the renowned Kakatiya kingdom. Therefore, option A is the correct answer. Next question is: recently seen in the news, the Chachin Grazing festival is celebrated in which of the following states of India? Manipur, Mizoram, Nagaland, or Arunachal Pradesh? The correct answer is option D, Arunachal Pradesh. Recently, the Chachin Grazing festival was celebrated by the local graziers of Tawang region near Bamla Pass, Arunachal Pradesh from 14th to 15th July. Chachin and other traditional grazing areas near Bumla Pass have historically served as the backbone of the local Monpa lifestyle that is largely dependent on nomadic herding. The festival featured a medical camp for aiding the local graziers who often lived in remote locations without the medical facilities prevalent in urban areas. The traditional grazing grounds around the Tawang region hold the significance both as a contemporary source of local livelihood and as a key fragment of the Monpa historical heritage. Therefore, option D is the correct answer. Next question is: what is the IUCN status of Ghadial? Least concern, near threatened, vulnerable, or critically endangered? The correct answer is option D, critically endangered. Recently, the Phoenix Herpetological Society has requested a permit to import ghadials and crocodiles from Madras Crocodile Bank Trust. Ghadials, sometimes called gavials, are a type of Asian crocodilian distinguished by their long, thin snouts, possession of a strongly attenuated snout, and rows of uniform sharp teeth supported by a relatively long, well-muscled neck makes it a most efficient fish catcher. Ghadial prefers deep, fast-flowing rivers. However, adult ghadial have also been observed still water branches, that is jheel of rivers, and in comparatively velocity-free aquatic environments of deep holes or kunds at river bends and confluences. Ghadials are listed in Schedule 1 of Wildlife Protection Act 1972 and as critically endangered on the IUCN Red List. Therefore, option D is the correct answer. Next question is: consider the following statements regarding the Election Commission of India. 1. The Election Commission of India is an executive body. 2. It administers elections to the Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha only. Which of the statement or statements given above is or are correct? 1 only, 2 only, both 1 and 2, or neither 1 nor 2? The correct answer is option D, neither 1 nor 2. Recently, ECI has decided to allot time to political parties on Akashvani and Doordarshan during an election will now be online. The Election Commission of India is an autonomous constitutional authority responsible for administering union and state election processes in India. Hence, statement 1 is not correct. The body administers elections to the Lok Sabha, Rajya Sabha, state legislative assemblies in India, and the offices of the President and Vice President in the country. Hence, statement 2 is not correct. It is not concerned with the elections to panchayats and municipalities in the states. For this, the Constitution of India provides for a separate state election commission. Therefore, option D is the correct answer. Next question is, consider the following statements. 1. Both the Supreme Court and the High Courts can issue writs for the enforcement of fundamental rights. 2. The Supreme Court can issue writs under Article 32 and High Courts can issue writs under Article 226. Which of the statement or statements given above is or are correct? 1 only, 2 only, both 1 and 2, or neither 1 nor 2? The correct answer is option C, both 1 and 2. Recently, Supreme Court was in news for introducing changes in collegium sets up methods. Supreme Court of India came into existence on 26 January 1950. Article 32 of the Constitution gives an extensive original jurisdiction to the Supreme Court in regard to enforcement of fundamental rights. High Court has power to issue writs for enforcement of fundamental rights and for any other purpose. Hence, statement 1 is correct. Article 32 of the Constitution gives an extensive original jurisdiction to the Supreme Court in regard to enforcement of fundamental rights. It is empowered to issue directions, orders, or writs, including writs. Article 226 of the Indian Constitution confer writ jurisdiction on the High Courts. Hence, statement 2 is correct. Therefore, option C is the correct answer. Next question is, Srivilliputhur Megamalai Tiger Reserve was recently seen in the news. It is associated with which of the following states or union territories? Tamil Nadu, Ladakh, Madhya Pradesh, or Odisha? The correct answer is option A, Tamil Nadu. Recently, Srivilliputhur Megamalai Tiger Reserve was in news. It was established in February 2021. It was jointly declared by the centre and Tamil Nadu governments. Srivilliputhur Megamalai Tiger Reserve is the fifth tiger reserve of Tamil Nadu. The Srivilliputhur Megamalai Tiger Reserve will protect wild animals and the natural forest, their habitats, which acts as watersheds. Therefore, option A is the correct answer. Last question is, Ghaggar river does not flows through which of the following states? Rajasthan, Madhya Pradesh, Punjab, or Haryana? The correct answer is option B, Madhya Pradesh. Recently, Ghaggar river was in news for causing heavy damages due to heavy rainfall. The Ghaggar is an intermittent river in India flowing during the monsoon season. It originates in the Shivalik hills of Himachal Pradesh. It flows through Punjab, Haryana, and Rajasthan. In Haryana, it flows through southwest of Sirsa and by the side of Talwada Jheel in Rajasthan. The present-day Saraswati River originates in a sub-montane region, Ambala district, and joins Ghaggar near Shatrana in Punjab. It supposedly dried up due to the capture of its tributaries by the Indus and Yamuna rivers and the loss of rainfall in much of its catchment area due to deforestation and overgrazing. Therefore, option B is the correct answer. Now it's time for the practice question. Recently seen in the news, the AI for India 2.0 is a joint initiative of which of the following? GUVI and Startup India, Skill India and GUVI, Skill India and Newton, or Startup India and Skill India? Send the answer of this question in the comment section. Stay tuned for the next episode. Thanks for watching.